This man is named Marty, an experienced hunter. Marty lives deep in the mountains, over dozens of kilometers from the nearest town. Every winter, he leaves his wife and young daughter to venture into one of Earth's most desolate regions, AD.AT, the Northern Alaska Range. There are no towns, no villages, not even permanent residents. Yet this is precisely why Marty loves it. To him, it's perhaps the last untouched wilderness. Transportation here is extremely challenging, DTWW. Even the finest vehicles prove useless. In these conditions, Marty's transport is a small plane. Only aircraft can navigate this region freely. But plane dangers need no explanation. Flight safety considerations far exceed those of driving. Such challenges define Marty's daily life. Current temperatures have dropped to -10 degrees Celsius. Marty prepares for this year's first flight to his usual hunting grounds. Landing on snow makes tires impractical. He first swaps tires for skis to enable snow landings. Yet nothing comes easy in Alaska, to a lord and clat. Performing such laborious tasks in bitter cold multiplies difficulty. Cold stiffens everything. When Marty hunts in northern Alaska's wilderness, he never encounters others, as if he's completely alone. Flying 200 miles to a remote cabin will take 3.5 hours. Marty must reach his hunting area before temperatures plunge further. Lower cold means greater flight risks. Pre-flight checks include thorough plane inspection, equipment preparation, and wing snow removal. Everything ready, he savors brief family warmth. Before departing, he tells his wife his landing zone. If she receives no message by designated time, she'll know danger occurred, and direct rescuers accordingly. His wife, long accustomed to this ritual, notes the coordinates and prays for his safety. As weather improves, Marty pilots toward hunting grounds. The plane roars skyward. After 3+ hours flying, Marty reaches destination. The landing zone is a forest clearing, within 1,000 meters of his cabin. The plane's most dangerous phase isn't flight but landing. Strong winds heighten risks. Skis differ greatly from tires. Differ greatly. No brakes exist. Only gradual gliding deceleration. Finally, the plane lands safely on snow. He secures the aircraft, covers the wings, ensuring readiness for next use. Post-landing chores complete. Marty heads toward his cabin. Footprints in snow catch his attention. Lynx tracks, a promising sign, indicating abundant prey. Large predators permeate Alaska's wilderness. Roughly 40,000 grizzlies and 10,000 wolves. They grow increasingly active. During this season, wolves sometimes attack humans, heightening the wilderness dangers. The hike to the cabin will take over 30 minutes. Marty prepares his rifle. Constant bear vigilance is essential here. Remoteness means survival chances near zero if attacked. Before hunting season began, Marty started transporting supplies to this cabin. After final delivery, he nailed planks around the structure and placed a spike-studded board before the door, an early warning system. Bears here remain innately curious, often investigating cabins. Several spikes on the board now bend, claw marks scar the door. Marty can't confirm if animals breached inside. Caution becomes imperative. Remote location and predator risks mean even small creatures could prove lethal. Carefully opening the door, he finds no intruders. Relief washes over him. He begins unpacking, including a drawing from his beloved daughter. The plane flies over desolate wilderness for 3 hours. Daytime temperatures grow colder. With limited supplies, no flights will occur for several weeks. Each following week, Marty must traverse Alaskan backcountry to check his trap lines. These traps lie far apart, so Marty relies on his snowmobile. Some might wonder, how was this snowmobile transported? Marty's plane clearly couldn't carry it whole. Originally, he transported the snowmobile, piece by piece, disassembling it, shuttling components via multiple flights. then reassembling on-site. Daily use demand. Not just riding skills, but mechanical repairs. Now, as temperatures keep dropping, heating becomes paramount. Marty must locate a dead tree, saw it into logs for warmth. In frigid woods, everything grows harder, metal turns brittle, chains snap, tree felling directions prove unpredictable, risking accidents. Being a mountain man never gets easier. Their work seems endless. Cut logs get hauled back, via snowmobile to his cabin. Living here alone, loneliness shadows him constantly. At night, Marty adjusts his outdoor antenna to catch a radio station hundreds of miles away. Though the antenna stands tall, reception remains fuzzy. In this wilderness, this is his only link to external information. Meanwhile, longing for family intensifies. With each passing day, Marty ventures alone into this uninhabited wilderness. Most of winter will be spent living here. All provisions must be self-managed. Yesterday, he stockpiled firewood for his cabin. Today's task involves securing stable water supply, but before departing, he needs energy replenishment. Watching Marty devour greasy pancakes and sausages, one might deem it excessive. Not so. With temperatures this extreme, he must consume over 6,000 daily calories, or risk hypothermia from weight loss. Fatty pork ultimately provides best insulation. Beyond calorie intake, cold weather gear proves essential. Insulated boots, Arctic-grade woolens, scarf, hat, topped with fur parka. This layering exists because no warmth exists beyond cabin walls. Pre-departure, he inspects his snowmobile. Prolonged use has worn key components. Since hunting requires distant travel, maintaining the machine becomes critical. Marty decides to repair it after water retrieval. His water source is Squirrel River Seas in 80 Dup Lang, Maycansta, now frozen solid by cold, permitting snowmobile traversal. Everyone knows, river ice varies in thickness. Reckless entry risks disaster. But Marty knows this terrain intimately, AWWW. He memorizes safe routes and drinking water access points. Each water haul lasts 2 days. Reaching the spot, he extracts a meter-long ice chisel, tapping the surface. Ice thickness gets gauged by acoustic feedback. Locating thinner ice, he strikes forcefully. Though easier for water access, such ice poses lethal risks. Should it collapse? No rescue exists here. Filling containers with clear river water, Marty returns to cabin. Now comes snowmobile maintenance. He replaces severely worn part. Being a hunter demands versatility, ingro-diverse. Remote operations require self-sufficiency in all skills. After component replacement, while repositioning the machine, he discovers gasoline leakage. Alarm surges. This log-built cabin contains active stove flames. Accidents here mean not just danger, but potential homelessness. Combined with Arctic cold and roaming predators, risks multiply exponentially. He urgently moves the snowmobile outside. Starting the engine, he tests it. Power output has improved. Now, with all preparations complete, Marty finally embarks on hunting. His trap line stretches far. Round trip consumes an entire day. A new day begins. He rises early and departs. Today he must check 150 traps, placing immense strain on his snowmobile. This will be a marathon day. Reaching the first trap requires 20 minutes travel. The initial trap lies empty, but surrounding tracks show promising signs. He resets the mechanism, realigns flanking logs, replaces bait, then proceeds. The second trap also stands vacant, bearing wolf track. Wolves hunt cooperatively, attacking prey 5 times their size. These tracks unsettle Marty. Encountering a pack here could force defensive gunfire and rapid retreat. Anxiety intensifies as his snowmobile rebels. Tudati, gears grind during ignition. Dread settles when the engine refuses to start. Worse, he forgot his rifle. Surrounded by wolves, the mere thought chills his spine. Survival odds seem bleak. If wolves converge, Mechanics 101. Spark plug replacement first. Marty knows this, but wolves nearby demand urgent repairs and retreat to his 10-mile distant cabin. Spark plugs stay stock. He begins replacement, working barehanded in brutal cold. Gloves hinder precision. Fortunately, tools stay handy. New plug installed, the engine roars to life. Relief floods through him. Journey resumes, distance accumulating until sunset looms. He must return now. Night transforms trails into hazards. Luckless today, no catches, though empty traps, remain common in this trade. 10 miles from shelter, darkness envelops the land. Snowmobile headlights barely illuminate the path. Then, engine dies again. Marty carries spare plugs galore. Another replacement attempt fails. Arphalen Riglees is rightle.org. The machine stubbornly resists ignition. Cold, darkness, and wolf proximity amplify terror. Abandoning the snowmobile, he dons snowshoes for the cabin trek. 10 miles through deep snow daunts even veterans. Progress proves grueling. End of poem. Within minutes, sweat soaks his layers. Wet clothes nullify insulation. No water carried, it freezes. No snow eaten, lowers body heat. To repair the snowmobile, he needs daylight and a new engine. Exhaustion mounts every 100 meters. Demands rest. Wolf howls echo, reminding him of cold and predators. Dehydration intensifies. With each sweating step, 4 hours later, 2 miles remain. Utterly spent, drenched in sweat, he dares neither stop nor remove clothing. Stillness brings hypothermia. Despair creeps in. He feels death approaching. Family memories surface. Widowed wife remarrying, daughter calling another dad, potential mistreatment. These thoughts ignite final resolve. Willpower propels his battered body forward. Finally, the cabin materializes. One craving dominates. Iswo lias casamalarding. Water. Warmth's value becomes painfully clear. To bone-chilled Marty. Brief satisfaction fades. As snowmobile troubles resurface, deroming May 26. A bitter aftertaste to this ordeal. After resting overnight, Marty rises early. Today he must return to retrieve and repair his snowmobile. During hunts, Marty earns $400 daily on average. Each delayed day means lost income, nighttime cabin treks, and daytime machine recovery. Amplify difficulties and dangers under lethal cold. Though retracing yesterday's route, daylight eases the hike. Soon he returns to the snowmobile, carrying a new engine. Engine replacement begins. Extreme cold forces, bare hands to contact metal components. Fingers numb rapidly, compelling him to pause, build a fire, warm hands, then resume repairs. Familiar with his machine, Marty completes the swap in an hour. Ignition succeeds backting and einded. The snowmobile revives. He rides toward his cabin, losing another full day. Yet misfortune persists. After 1 mile, the machine fails catastrophically. The steering column snaps. Marty can't believe his rotten luck. With broken steering, front skis splay opposite directions, rendering turns impossible. He lashes the skis together with branches, forcing aligned forward orientation. This makeshift solution works. Less than an hour remains before dark. Marty inches the crippled machine back to his cabin. A winter storm looms 5 miles southwest in the mountains, blocking Marty's path home. Flying in such conditions would be suicidal. After checking final traps, Marty returns to his cabin. To reinforce defenses, in case he can't return, recent brown bear tracks already circle the cabin. Last task before departure. Board up windows to deter animal intrusions. Bears frequently raid human dwellings and attack people. Defensive measures are non-negotiable. He fully covers windows. Bear's intense curiosity makes visibility dangerous. This isn't paranoia. Claw marks scar his door. Adult brown bears weigh up to 1,000 pounds pre-hibernation, halving during winter. Even at 500 pounds, they remain lethal. Spike-studded boards at the entrance show bent nails from bear encounters. Nails studding cabin walls serve more as deterrents than true barriers. Punctures barely inconvenience bears, but most leave when no rewards justify effort. Determined intruders would breach regardless. Cabin secured, Marty heads to his plane. With 8 hours left, before missing his delivery window, he races recklessly through storm-worsened trails. Another crash buries the snowmobile. Wasted time compounds frustration. Manual extraction leaves him sweating. Removing fogged glasses, he places them on the snowmobile, then forgets them after recovery. Blurred vision reveals his mistake. Returning, he finds the glasses, now shattered. Disaster for a nearsighted pilot. No flying or safe snowmobiling. Without clear sight. Praying for spare glasses in the plane, he arrives to find relief. Backup eyewear exists. No navigation instruments mean impaired vision would ground him permanently. Retrieving stored furs from the cabin, he loads them onto the plane. Extreme cold resists engine ignition. Repeated propeller cranks yield nothing. From snowmobile failures to merciless storms, nothing cooperates. Engine adjustments finally spark the propeller to life. This flight teems with unknowns. Weather viability, tight schedules, mountain conditions. Marty flies regardless. Survival demands risk. 20 years battling Alaska taught him flight wisdom, but an old saying haunts him. There are old pilots and bold pilots, but no old bold pilots. Asterisk. 3 hours later, he lands home. No time to rest. Furs must reach buyer Joe immediately. Missing this sale means waiting months for another chance. Joe, Marty's regular buyer, processes hunter pelts for leather factories. Marty arrives last among suppliers. Each pelt undergoes coating, inspection, measurement, origin, capture date, and method recorded. Pricing lacks standards. Joe's valuation is final. Though respecting Marty's grit, Joe notes poor market conditions and mediocre haul quality. These are leftover stocks. Reality bites hard. Joe's payment sheet shows 1/3 of typical earnings. After expenses, this season barely breaks even. Zero profit, harsh storms, mechanical failures, and dwindling catches crush Marty's income. For his family's sake, he must find ways to recover losses. In coming months, the entire winter yielded scant catches. Continuing this pattern would spell disaster. Marty must change tactics. If traps fail, rifles will suffice. He plans another flight to reindeer habitats. Goals are simple: sell hides, feed his family with meat. Alaska hosts vast reindeer herds, hundreds of thousands strong. Bagging a few could reverse fortunes. This hunt proves critical for family survival and self-respect. A mature male reindeer provides up to 200 pounds of meat. Marty aims to fill freezers for his 3-member household. Having spent months apart, he refuses to leave wife and daughter again. This expedition includes them both. Pre-flight preparations intensify. Tires replace skis after thorough inspection. The plane's maximum payload, 1,750 pounds, including 3 passengers, supplies, and fuel. Little room remains for extra gear. Now boarding his family, doubts swarm. Fuel adequacy, weight limits, insufficient fuel risks crashes. Overloading prevents takeoff. Typically decisive alone, Marty turns uncharacteristically cautious, understandable when loved ones' lives hinge on each decision. Takeoff proceeds smoothly. He exhales deeply, Olamen-10, but safety remains unguaranteed. No navigation systems exist. Lost visibility means potential disaster. Alaska's mercurial weather, eternal flight adversary, looms as greatest threat. Marty's sole focus, keeping his family unharmed. 3 hours later, they land safely. First priority, securing the plane against Alaskan gales. He tethers it firmly, their only lifeline in this roadless wilderness. 100 miles from the nearest village. Marty's daughter, raised in Alaska's wilds, is no hunting novice. She eagerly anticipates demonstrating tracking skill. Before hunting begins, camp setup demands attention. In bear territory, selecting a secure site requires meticulous precautions. They find suitable ground, but daylight wanes. The hunt must wait for dawn. The tranquil morning proves fleeting. Marty rises early to prepare for hunting. He spots a brown bear foraging nearby. At this proximity, the bear surely smells them. Fortunately, it shows no interest. With tens of thousands of brown bears in Alaska, Marty must hunt cautiously, lest he becomes prey himself. Discovering a reindeer herd grazing close, he urgently rouses his wife and child. Armed and carrying their daughter, they position downwind, critical to mask their scent. Otherwise, the herd would flee. This time, Marty's wife takes the shot. Precision marksmanship drops an adult reindeer instantly. While elated, the family pauses to express gratitude to the animal for sustaining their household. This reindeer yields 200 pounds of meat, plus a marketable hide. Relief mixes with triumph, a clean kill at last. But work begins immediately. Gutting precedes cooling, essential for preservation. Skinning, butchering, then airlifting meat home. Marty involves his daughter, teaching natural cycles. Butchery isn't grotesque, but life-sustaining. Will she appreciate this lesson? When older, the task challenges her, but hunter life demands it. Assisting her father's first field dressing, she beams with pride. With a bear prowling nearby, they relocate the carcass. 400 feet from camp, barely sufficient. Urgency escalates. Transport requires 2 flights. To distribute weight, first trip carries family, and maximum meat without overloading. Every ounce calculated, Bivlor.grain grazer. Excess grounds the plane. After delivering his family, Marty immediately returns to the site. Fortunately, the reindeer haven't strayed far. He quickly locks onto a target, raises rifle, aims, fires. A gunshot echoes. One reindeer collapses in blood. Bagging this reindeer risks overloading his return flight. He immediately begins field dressing the animal to expedite departure. Meanwhile, the lingering bear exerts constant threat, compounding pressure. Post-butchery, he loads meat and hide onto the plane. Weight now teeters near limits, but bear avoidance leaves. No alternatives. Hastily securing the cargo, he takes off. The plane ascends smoothly, burdened with gear and venison, a near-perfect haul. After a dismal trapping season, confidence resurges as Marty recommits to work, recouping losses, securing future hunts. Success must persist. This kill, the next, and beyond, survival hinges on continuous triumphs to endure the looming year. Marty earned almost nothing this winter. Even liquidating reserves yielded merely $4,000, barely breaking even. To survive until next season, he hunted 2 reindeer with his family. The smooth process provided 80% of required protein. Today, he ventures to northern Alaska's plateaus. For the remaining 20%, targeting Dall sheep in this year's most perilous hunt. With 3 days left in sheep season, the endeavor combines danger and extreme physical strain. Dall sheep inhabit high-altitude zones, where rugged mountain paths and thin oxygen compound difficulties. Marty's favored hunting grounds. He 400 miles from home. A 5-hour flight, limited payload capacity dictates minimal supplies, life-sustaining rations, water, and fuel prioritized. Any oversight in preparation could prove fatal in these merciless mountains. The landing zone's rocky terrain demands weight redistribution. Cargo shifted forward to spare rear wheel stress. Additional threats: plane condition, volatile weather, and prowling hungry bears. Final preparations conclude. As thunderstorms erupt, forecasts predict days of flight-hostile conditions. With time dwindling, Marty gambles on storm flying. Engine ignition, takeoff proceeds smoothly, and for maces in the festive mace. But nature retaliates. After an hour, gale force winds and lightning force emergency landing. Near zero visibility makes both flying and landing lethal. Marty lands skillfully on a mountainside clearing. Sheep season's final hours tick away. As storms trap him overnight, temperatures plummet. He pitches tent in the valley, resigned to waiting, a hated but unavoidable routine. Dawn brings clearance. He relaunches toward the alpine realm, where dull sheep cling to cliffs. Predator-free. 80 mph winds batter the plain. Near destination. Marty risks landing on a jagged ridge miles from target zone. Post-landing, urgent plane anchoring follows. Gusts threaten to hurl it into oblivion. 4 miles separate him from sheep migration paths, demonstration, a 2-hour trek across treacherous terrain. His 50-pound pack holds bare essentials: tent, water, rations, every ounce conserved, for returning with mutton. Summit vistas resemble paradise, Nade 20 Someda, pristine peaks unmarred by humans, Marty's cherished sanctuary. After establishing base camp, scouting reveals no sheep. His gamble: wait at high elevation for herds to approach ridges. Darkness falls. Temperatures crash. Gloves and hat secured, Marty conducts final perimeter check before retreating to his sleeping bag. Under Alaskan night skies, odds of locating sheep dwindle. All hinges on tomorrow's luck. Dawn breaks with Marty ready to hunt, but the mountain lies shrouded in dense fog. After overcoming countless obstacles, nature delivers another harsh welcome. Wind brings both danger and obscuring mist. Marty hunkers down, awaiting clearance. Wandering now risks disorientation. Patience pays. Fog dissipates after 90 minutes. To his astonishment, a lone sheep grazes nearby. After days of misfortune, fortune finally smiles. Marty begins inching toward the sheep, seeking optimal firing position. Unaware of looming peril, the dull sheep peacefully feed. At 300 yards, wind speed and direction complicate the shot. Yet Marty seizes this fleeting chance. A rifle crack echoes Dadamasrian Thacking. The sheep collapses. Initial elation fades as grueling labor begins. Retrieving the carcass across jagged slopes tests Marty's endurance. Even reaching the kill site with his pack leaves him gasping. Hauling 100 pounds of mutton back will amplify the ordeal. Combined with earlier reindeer harvests, this provides months of sustenance. Skinning and butchering proceed swiftly. Now burdened with 150 pounds of gear and meat, Marty faces a 5-mile trek through oxygen-thin altitude. The brutal hike permits no rest. Strengthening winds threaten his parked plane. Delays risk losing both aircraft and survival. Every step agonizes. Marty yearns for younger vigor. Hours later, his plane materializes through exhaustion. Relief overwhelms him. Cargo secured, restraints removed, Marty initiates this season's final flight. Thus concludes the year's hunting chapter.